Hey everyone, welcome back, and today we'll be doing another Leetcode problem 1019, next greater node in the linked list. This is a medium one. Given the head of the linked list with n nodes, find if there is a greater element next to it and return an integer array where the answer I is the value of the next greater node. If there is not a next greater node, then return 0 at that index. So at index 0 we are going to have 5 in our output list because 2 does have 5 to its right, next node greater to it. 1 does have the same condition and 5 does not have something next to it that is greater, so we'll be returning 0 at that location, that index. And 2, 7, 4, 3 and 5, if this is a linked list, then 2 does have 7 next to it, so this is 70550. 7 does not have something to its right that is greater, so we'll be returning 0 at that index. And 5 5, because 4 3 does have 5 next to it that is greater than them, and 5 does not have something next to it that is greater, so we'll be returning 0 at that location. So we'll be making a node value list and a current pointer which will be started from the head. So while current is not null, we want to append its value to node node value list, and current is going to be updated now. Current is equal to current dot next, and we are going to have an output list which by default is going to have 0 at every location, and its length is going to be the length of node values. So this is it, and we are going to have a stack, make a stack. So while let's just use a for loop. So for index and value, we will take the index and value and enumerate. I think the spelling is all right. So till node value in node value, so we will just append the index to the stack. And when we have indexes in our stack, we will say while stack and node values at stack dot peak, that will be just like this. And if it is less than value we are on, then we will just in our output take stack dot pop the index will be popped, and on that location we are going to put the value. So now we will just return the output. So let's see if this works, and then I will explain how things are working here. This does get accepted. So now if we have our linked list like this, let's take this example like this, call this node values. Okay, so this is going to be our node values. Taking an example, our output is going to be something like 0. It is going to have 0 at every location, so there are going to be 5 zeros because the length is going to be 5. Okay, our stack and our index, our value. Okay, so now the index from the start is going to be 0, and at 0 index we are going to have 2. We do not have something in our stack, so what we'll be doing is just appending the index to the stack and do not pop or peak. This while loop does not execute. Now the index is going to be 1 and the value at 1 is going to be 7. And now stack does have something to it, and we will see that node at stack peak is 1, and if it is less than the value, yes, the value is 7, and node at 1 is going to be 0. Stack was appended with index, and at the first iteration we had 0, so it is less. So what we'll be doing is just a stack at stack pop at output. So this 0 will be popped, and in our output, so this is just basically the index. So at 0 index we will just put 7 in our output, that's it. Now the index is 2 and the value at 2 is going to be 4 in our node value. We will see that we do have something in our stack, so the stack is also appended with the index at each iteration. So the value here, if you see, stack does have something in it. So stack at index 1 is 7, so it is less than value, no, 7 is greater than 4. So what we'll be doing is just appending the index. So index 2 will be appended, and now the index is 3 in the next iteration, and values at 3 is going to be 3 also. Okay, so now the stack does have something in it, and the value at stack, it is less than the value. So the value on stack peak is 2, and at 2 we have 4. The value current is 3, so no, it is not greater. We will not go in the while loop, and we will just append the index. So our index is going to be 3 in our stack, and now the index is going to be incremented and the value is also going to be incremented. So now we will see that we do have something in our stack, and stack peak at node values. So peak is going to be 3. At 3 we are going to have 3. It is less than the value, so what we'll be doing at that index. So at index 3, what is the index 3? Yes, this is going to be the index 3. So here we'll be putting 5, and now this is going to be popped. And while stack does have something in it, and the value at stack at 2, it is less. So stack our node values at 2, sorry, node values at 2, it is 4. It is less than the value. Yes, the value is 5. So we will just pop it and output at that location. So what we just popped, it was 2, so at 2 location we will be putting 5. Now the value at stack, if we see, peak is less, no, it is not less. At one index we are going to have 7. 7 is less, not less than 5. So we are just going to make it out of the loop, and at stack dot append the index, so it is going to be 4, and this is going to be our output. So that's it.